Today, in the media conference with Lal Goel, which is brought to you by V4NEWS, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV, News Gaon Se, Samvad Sarokar News, Organ Donation India Foundation and Gyan. Our endeavor is to enlighten you with the current topic. And today our topic is COVID returns, impact on teachers. But before I will go on the main topic, I would like to inform you that today world is celebrating World Heritage Day. International Day for Monuments and Sites, also known as World Heritage Day, is an international observance held on 18th April each year around the world with different types of activities, including visits to monuments and heritage sites, conferences, roundtables, and newspaper articles. The International Day for Monuments and Sites was proposed by the International Council on Monuments and Sites, ICOMOS, on 18th April 1982 and approved by the General Assembly of UNESCO in 1983. The aim is to promote awareness about the diversity of cultural heritage of humanity, their vulnerability, and the efforts required for their protection and conservation. Media conference wish you all on this occasion. Now coming to the main topic, that is COVID returns, impact on teachers. Guru Govind do khade काके लागू पाओ, बलिहारी गुरु आपने गोविंद दियो बताए. Without teachers, life would have no class. A teacher is a person who helps students to acquire knowledge, competence, or virtue. The history of teaching can be traced to Confucius 561 BC, who was the first famous private teacher. Many ancient Greeks hired private teachers to educate their children. In the Middle Ages, learning institutions such as Cambridge University were founded and teachers' training became required. In ancient India, the most common form of education was Gurukul, based on the Guru-Shishya tradition, teacher-disciple tradition, which involved the disciple and Guru living in the same or a nearby residence. This Gurukulam was supported by public donation and the Guru would not accept any fees from the Shishya. This organized system stayed the most prominent form of education in the Indian subcontinent until the British invasion. Though strong efforts in 1886 and 1948, the Gurukul system was revived in India. Takshila was the earliest recorded center of higher learning in India from possibly 8th century BCE. Nalanda University in eastern India was the oldest university system of education in the world in the modern sense of university. Chanakya was among the most famous teachers of that era. A teacher's role may vary among cultures. Teachers may provide instructions in literacy and numeracy, craftsmanship or vocational training, the arts, religion, civics, community roles, or life skills. Formal teaching tasks include preparing lessons according to agreed curricula, giving lessons, and assessing pupil progress. A teacher's professional duty may extend beyond formal teaching. Outside of the classroom, teachers may accompany students on field trips, supervise study hall, help with the organization of school functions, and serve as supervisors for extracurricular activity. In some education system, teachers may be responsible for student discipline. Needless to say, the pandemic has transformed the centuries-old chalk talk teaching model to one driven by technology. This disruption in the delivery of education is pushing policymakers to figure out how to drive engagement at scale while ensuring inclusive e-learning solutions and tackling the digital divide. Now, when we are talking about COVID returns, I would like to inform, and our idea, our endeavor is just to enlighten, to create awareness, not to create fear. But one should be awake, one should be knowledgeable what is happening around them. On 17th April 2021, that is till yesterday, India registered only yesterday only, India registered 2,60,778 new cases compared to 2,33,943 cases day before yesterday. Now, which has taken the country's cumulative tally past 1 crore 47 lakhs 82,000 cases. Yesterday, 1,495 people lost their lives. Thus, total death due to corona raised to 1,77,168. Very sad. According to health officials, India has administered 11 crore 99 lakhs 37,641 vaccine doses across the country as of yesterday, that is 17th April 2021, which is less than 10% of the population. That is, we are talking of the first dose. Those who are completely vaccinated after taking second dose are hardly 1%. And if India has to achieve herd immunity, required at least 70% of the population to be immunized or vaccinated. Now, to get that 70% complete vaccination, how many more years we will take? But we should understand that from the January 2022, we will be again taking the vaccine next dose, because this vaccine is going to last maximum 1 year. It can be after 9 months, but the latest report says that it can last up to 1 year. So those who have taken in January, they have to again go for that. So until unless we will not have herd immunity, it's very difficult to control the COVID or corona virus. So now the main topics, that is COVID returns impact on teachers. Today we have very knowledgeable, very elite, and those who are related to this field, the teaching field, are our panelist guest. So I would like to invite my first panelist guest, and she is Dr. Arundhati Govind Hoskeri. Dr. Arundhati is MSc Zoology, MEd, MA English Literature, PhD Education, NDHS, ATCL, and Diploma in Communication Skills. Dr. Arundhati is an eminent educationist for the past 35 years, with 21 years in the leadership role as a principal, director, and management representative of reputed Cambridge International Schools, IB World Schools. Dr. Arundhati is multifaceted, multitasking, trained in international curriculum, pedagogy, and leadership. She is a motivational speaker, trainer, a freelance journalist whose articles have appeared in international newspapers. She authored 2 books which are available on Amazon. She has published more than a dozen research articles and papers in national and international ISBN and ISSN journals. She is a multilingualist who fluently converses in 10 languages. Her voice is recorded for UNO Charter in 3 languages and is available on UNO official website. She is a trained classical singer, a self-taught visual artist, a poetess who has been felicitated in Malaysia and Sri Lanka for poetry. She is a keynote speaker, panelist, and a moderator for many national international conferences. She is an avid traveler who has visited 21 countries. Dr. Arundhati has received many awards, accolades on national, international platforms. Welcome, Dr. Arundhati, on our show. Dr. Arundhati, as you know, the COVID has come back to our country with a bang. Although it has affected the entire world, but today the situation in the entire world, India is number 1 as far as the new cases. We are leading the world, and we are not seeing any ray of hope in the end of the tunnel. And the worst part is the impact which is coming on the education system in India. And hardly 2-3 days back only, our Honorable Prime Minister has postponed 12th CBSE examination, and 10th they have cancelled. And other universities and NEET PG and others have also postponed or cancelled their examinations. Now, the, the thing is, what is the impact on teachers? So COVID returns, impact on teachers. Dr. Arind Govind Hoskari, please. Please unmute yourself, doctor. Please unmute. Yes, please, go ahead.
Thank you for that warm introduction, Mr. Goel. It's always a pleasure to come on your show. And I quickly take this opportunity to congratulate you for completing 1 year continuously giving the programs. It's no joke, ladies and gentlemen. Every day, each day, he's so committed and on avid topics he's coming out with. So my hearty congratulations. Now coming back to the topic, see, break of COVID-19 was absolutely unexpected. It affected the entire world. It affected the economy, social life, and impacted all spheres of life, I would say. And education is no exception to it. It wasn't exempted. So the entire learning shifted from actual teaching to digital mode. Teachers who were not tech savvy were trained, and they struggled and they learned and started giving online classes. Initially there was a struggle for 2-3 months, but teachers somehow made it, and when the changes ushered in and they started working smoothly. But nobody imagined that this remote learning would continue so long. The entire, first when it began last March, I'm talking of 2020, everyone thought that after the Diwali break, that is after the first term, we are going to open the school. So there was a hope. When that didn't happen, well, it's okay. We continued with it, and we were all hopeful that this June at least the schools are going to reopen. But now the scenario is completely different. It has bounced back. So actually, I mean, the tunnel is really getting longer, and I don't know when are we going to see that bright light at the end of the tunnel. That is the situation now. On a personal note, I don't think this situation will come back to normal so soon. At least a couple of years more, I would think. So we would be lucky if by 2023 we resume our life normally. That is, but maybe my assumptions and presumptions should go wrong and life should soon return to normal. That is my wish also. Sometimes there is a pleasure in losing also. Like, I don't want to succeed everywhere. I don't want to my predictions to go that strong. All right. Now, when whole world is now talking about COVID return, but I mean, if you think properly or if you reflect on that, COVID had never disappeared from the world. It has coexisted. What happened is initially people were reluctant because they didn't understand. And later on, what happened, as long as they were taking precautions and safety measures, it was under control. So we were hopeful that life is going to go normal. But then, one fine day, like it happens, people grew casual, like, "Arey yaar, jane do, jo hoga, so hoga, how much we will do, nothing will happen." So when we get into that mode, then that is dangerous, because the virus is not going to go away, the danger is not going to go away. Perhaps like after plague, this is the biggest pandemic humanity is facing, if you go down the history. So actually it has now hit us back with vengeance. So actually what is the thing is, like, you have to understand, it's not just in India. Everyone says, okay, India, like, people are ignorant and uneducated. It's not that way. Everywhere, if you go and check, even in the other parts, like, other parts of the world also, you will find the same situation. For example, even in the US, okay, even in the US, the same situation was going on. So actually, we have now completed 13 years, 13 months. So 1 year and 1 month of online schooling. Now I think teachers are feeling really, really exhausted and exasperated. They are worried about so many things, They are worried about the future of their students, what is going to happen. Now the parents are also equally worried. But today we are discussing teachers. So what are the worries from the teachers? And whatever I have imparted, have I been able to do justice? Or whether my students have really imbibed? What will happen to the students now? Like all different boards are talking about giving the result without examination. Then what will happen to the knowledge of these students, and also what will be the admission to the next level? So there are so many questions roaming around. Of course, we have no choice. but to accept whatever comes, because when you are facing such a pandemic, and they are not just worried about their students, they have a family to take care, they have their own health, the health of their own family members. So everything is becoming too much. Actually, I keep on talking to a lot of teachers. I'm now a private consultant, independent consultant. I come across a lot of teachers and I talk to them. Everybody, a kind of feeling of depression has taken over. I don't want to use a heavy term, but people are getting upset with the fact that again everything will continue online. So what will happen? So that, skeptical, I won't even call it skeptical. There is that unknown fear is gripping the humanity, not just the teachers. What is going to happen next? How are we going to proceed and all that? So with remote learning, actually what happens is we are able to, give the knowledge. We are able to report, impart knowledge. But what is happening is actually when teaching and learning process is done in the classroom, in a closer proximity, handholding the students, correcting them, that pleasure is completely different. And that interaction is completely different. That effect is completely different. So what is happening is right now, all the teachers are imparting knowledge, but somewhere there is that, satisfaction is lacking. At least if I were to be an active teacher, I would have felt that, my passion wouldn't be fulfilled only sitting and explaining on the computer. It is, after all, we are working through the machine. Of course, that is the best we are doing, but I'm talking, comparing to the normal series. Now, in the USA recently, the schools reopened for some time, but again, they had to shut back. Now, even when the COVID has returned, some of the USA schools have forced the teachers and students to come for at least 2 or 3 weeks just to get that grant. Otherwise, how the schools are going to survive? Recently, there was a survey conducted in Chicago. 66% of the teachers over there are feeling totally burnt out. And about 28% of the teachers in NYC district are considering retiring or leaving the profession due to stress and health problems. It has become too much for them handling the stuff. So, I don't know, it is actually the story is not different in India. Maybe it is more pronounced over here. Maybe there are not enough surveys, or I have not read, whatever could be the case. Teachers are not well paid compared to all other counterparts, all other professions. That is a known fact. Okay. What happens is when the international schools came in India, especially IB schools, they started paying well. And let me tell you, some of the bright brains left their hardcore industry and joined high school teaching, because teachers don't look at only money. Money is essential. I have no negative emotion about money. Without money, my car wouldn't run on water, and my house wouldn't run on, without eating anything. We all require money, right? So when the international schools started paying well, we have engineers, we have CAs, and we have other professionals, those who are done medical engineering, all of them joining back this stream, IB stream, because they got good pay and they were very passionate about teaching. But now in this current scenario, if they get frustrated, there is a danger that they may again switch back. They have a well qualified degree with them. If they again switch back to corporate jobs or corporate houses, then again there is going to be a dearth of good teachers in the industry. So that is one more thing. And another thing is, what happens is, right now parents are refusing to pay the fees. If you refuse to pay the fees, or if you're delaying incessantly, how are you going to sustain? How the schools are going to sustain? So there is a pay cut for the teachers, 10%, 20% to 40%, or sometimes even 50%, depending on the slabs. Sometimes the management is genuine, they are really facing problem, they are not able to support, they cut. But what happens is, I don't know about the government supported and aided schools, like central government schools and SSC school, state government schools, I have no idea. But in private school, what happens is, the general trend is one or two schools start cutting, then the news is out in the market, so everyone, whether required or not, they start cutting. How the teachers are going to survive? See, what happens is, if it's a male teacher, or if husband and wife both are teachers, how are they going to run the show? Because as I said, money is also important. So there is a loss of job. And another sad thing is, most of the schools have reduced their staff size, because now for online class, they are combining the classes. So section A and section B. It doesn't matter whether they are 40 kids or 80 kids in a class because online teaching only. So the staff size is cut. I understand if there is a general, I mean, a real difficulty, but what those teachers are going to do, that is one thing. And another thing, what we are facing is sports is not happening, and all other, craft and library, all these are not happening. Most of the schools have sent these teachers away. So this is actually it's a very I don't know, it's a very sad situation, because after all, teachers are also human beings. They have to support themselves. So I mean, situation must improve, and at least I appeal to the parents, give the fees or whatever and support. Now, what is my message to the teachers? See, teachers, one thing, like, we all are in this profession because we are passionate about something. So don't get depressed. Hold on. It is not just happening with us. It is happening with the entire humanity. Job cut, pay cut, or job loss. It has been universal right now, as of now. So hold on and be positive, and stop watching too much of news about COVID. Like, that actually depresses you. And you are doing a fantastic job. Take care of your health and take care of your dear and near ones and do your job well. Actually, what happens is, you are a most important part of this entire society or entire country. In this world today, there are scientists, there are all professions you take, there are scientists, doctors, soldiers, politicians, name any profession. It's only because of the teachers. They all started at toddlers at some time, and we teachers have molded them. So take pride in your profession. That I'm just trying to make you feel good, and that you are very important. Don't think of leaving your job, or don't think of going away to some other thing. Stick on and hold on, and I'm sure we are going to tide this situation. Nothing is permanent. When all our good days vanished one day and COVID came in, this is also a temporary phase. It's going to go away. With this, I conclude. Thank you very much, Mr. Goel.
Thank you very much, Dr. Arundhati. You concluded with a positive note. Yes, we all want that Corona should go. But what Dr. Arundhati has made a very important point, and she says that when the COVID came last year, we have all the teachers, at least especially the teacher fraternity, was assuming that it will last for 2-3 months, or maximum the schools or colleges will open by the 1st of November after the Diwali break. But it continued. And then this year, they were expecting that after the summer vacation, the 1st June or something, the school or college will start. But again, the same conditions. And she says now it has become it's a frustrating situation for the teachers, because they are teaching online. There are lots of problems they are facing, even the financial problem. And she highlighted how when the parents are not giving the fees, either intentionally or because of their financial problems, which is there right now in the everywhere, because the job cuts are across the sectors. So when they are not paying to the school or the college, how the school and the college management will pay the teachers the full salary? So they started cutting 10% to 50% salary. Now she says the teacher is in dilemma what to do, because they have to serve, but they are getting less salary, and they require funds also, because whatsoever their previous commitments. So according to Dr. Arundhati, it's a lot of problem, and she has given some data of USA, and she mentioned that how in USA, when the survey was conducted, the more than 66% has said they are fed up with these types of things. But only thing is, in India, there are no proper surveys, so we can't say what is the situation. But yes, reality in India also the same, that the teachers community especially are facing lots of problem. I would like to ask some questions, but I will be asking in the next round. Dr. Arundhati, definitely some tough question on this thing that I will ask in the next round. Thank you very much, Dr. Arundhati, for giving your opening remarks. Now I would like to invite my next guest, and she is Miss Kamini Kalra. Ms. Kamini Kalra is personality development, communication skills, life skills consultant based at Chandigarh. She is a copy and content writer and voice narrator. She is having experience with students for over 15 years in school, college, and university. She was keynote speaker at MS Talks, EduBridge, PSTID, and other public platforms. Welcome, Ms. Kamini Kalra, on our show. Ms. Kamini, you have heard what Dr. Arundhati has mentioned, and she is very, very clear that the teaching community, although they are trying their best to do, but there's lots of frustration because the atmosphere which they were of in habit to have the personal touch, personal teaching to the students, and about the students, they are not getting that libraries facilities or the sports, etc. So she says, although the teachers are doing their job online, but the way the education should be imparted is not taking place. And she has highlighted many things which you have already heard, and she has made it very, very clear. Now, we would like to know from you, COVID returns impact on teachers. Miss Kamini Kalra, please. Please unmute yourself.
Thank you so much, sir, for this warm welcome and a very, very blessed morning to each one of you, all the distinguished that is guests, Dr. Arundhati, Dhirendra Singh, sir, Lal sir, and Shama. Well, it's really, first just let me introduce myself in my own way, which is a little different, which I've created for myself. And that's like, I'm Kamini Kalra, your friend, mother to a daughter, granny to a grandson, a passive person who's turned into a passionate speaker, and now a consultant coach in public speaking, your personality development, soft skills, voice narrator. And I have also developed all these qualities and identified these skills in this particular period where was the COVID period. So this is my biggest message to all the teachers. I have been with teaching and interacting with students also. I find that yes, there are the pros and cons to every aspect. And like Dr. Arundhati has mentioned, definitely the situations are in a different mode. But I don't know, I have been always a positive taker and a learner, so I have utilized this moment of COVID to upgrade myself in many ways. And that's what I feel. If I look at it on the positive aspect, this is the best opportunity and we have got, whereby times were definitely tough, but we can upgrade our skills, because I think otherwise, if we COVID would have not happened, we would have not learned technology. We would have not, even made an effort to, learn some new, platforms like the Google Meet, Zooms, the Teams, Microsoft Teams, etc. Right? But I'm sure you all will agree. This has given you this opportunity to start learning and become a little more tech savvy. Otherwise, we were so dependent on our children, our students to help us out in many aspects, right? So this particular aspects, if I take it and divide it like, yes, I divided basic three things. That is basically the access part of it, the usage part of it, and the skills. Okay, now if I talk about the access part of it, yes, if I divide it based on your socio-economical conditions, whereby and the infrastructure availability, right? Fortunately, the schools and colleges and universities who are really doing well in the in the infrastructure, etc., they have got the teachers over there have really taken the opportunities. And along with a lot of my teacher fraternity friends who have met and talked, the benefits that they have got and they have taken due advantage is number one, because it has given the opportunity to be at home, get more time, because your travel, your other things, and you are now not with the physical activities, because generally when you're in a school, you're also assigned different activities, the curriculum activities, etc. So your time gets into that aspect. But now, since those activities are not there, you get the opportunity of learning, reading, finding out new ways. And the best part is getting the right side of your brain start flowing, the creativity part of it. This has made us more into finding out ways how I can be more practical and how I can teach them or interact with my students, so that learning becomes easier for them. Right? That's one thing which, I believe I've learned it and I've been doing these stuff that is there. Next is, yes, my content creation, my syllabus, my notes, etc., have now become more streamlined, because I'm using PowerPoints, or I'm using, the different modes of teaching that is there. So my notes have become very crisp because I have a limited time. In classroom, it's very easy to handle the class because, you can see the student who's making noise. Here, you cannot, But then because of that, your time is limited. So I have started developing these kinds of notes. In fact, ab mere paas, I feel, notes ho gaye, mere study material ho gaya hai, bahut systematic ho gaya hai, channelized ho gaya hai, rather than before, rather than we were like prepared, acha ha ye karna hai, pata hai, because we could spend little more time beyond just the teaching part of it. We used to be there physically, so we used to even ask ki, Are, how are you, their problems and such things. I'll come to the cons of it later, but this is what is the benefit of it. So I would say each teacher at this moment, take this advantage. COVID has come back, but so it has come with a new mutant. You too have now come up with a new mutant, become that new change, become that new stuff that is being given to you. This opportunity is really, really wonderful. Next, another thing, what I feel is we all have now become so bindas, and I would say camera fear has gone off. Otherwise it happened with me. I still recall when I first had to take a class or a session online, I was like, I had to be properly dressed up. What will my children see and what will they do and how will I see? Because now you're not being watched only by the students. When you're in that confined physical room, you were only your students, right? But now here, your parents are also watching. Aate jate, maybe there's somebody else in the family who's sitting over there also watching. So I used to be very conscious initially, what will they think about? But now I've become so clear. I'm so friendly now to the camera. Like it doesn't make, I don't hesitate. And that's the biggest skill, which as teachers, your public speaking skills have developed. You become more conscious, you become more confident and fearless. Now, stage fear has gone off from your end, right? Looking at the other aspect, which Dr. Ananti also mentioned, was very true, whereby even I, initially when I got into this digital, I also was very keen about strong believer when you are into physical contact with students, when you are physically present over there, you have a different kind of bonding, right? But then I feel definitely, yes, that is missing, because a quick touch jo hota hai, the physical touch jo hota hai, bonding hoti hai, that is missing. And it does impact a lot. Okay. However, again, when we share, I've seen this when I've been sharing with numbers and students, now they feel more open to come and talk to you, because now they know I'm not going to be scolded or reprimanded in front of many. So they know they can come and, because most of the schools and organizations, they have these chat boxes whereby, students can get the clarification of their doubts and etc. So जब एक normal classroom में होता था, तो क्या होता था? Mostly the front benchers who are the intelligent one, they used to quickly get answers and the teacher used to pick them up. The ones who are slow learners, now the slow learners get an opportunity whereby they can interact with you and without any fear of, who's going to laugh at me or mock at me or ask a question. So that's one thing where I feel the advantage part that has taken place also for the students part, of course. And the teacher gets into a good bonding over there too. So that's how we can build up our bonds with our students. Now, the biggest challenge that, yes, has happened with the schools, those who are not very good in the socio-economical part, where the infrastructure, the financial parts are there. The biggest challenge the teachers are facing is the reaching out to the students, because availability of the tools, the resources, the most important is the internet, because you need at least two things in this. Is one is either a Android or a mobile that is there, or a laptop, and the internet connection. And most of the time the challenge is with the internet connections, because where it comes to the tier 1, tier 2 cities, things are okay. But when it comes to cities and villages which are far off, there, despite the government and the telecom industry, which has they are giving this internet and facilities there, still that is a big challenge. So reaching out is one big challenge which has come up with teachers. Another thing which happened, which I found, and I was interacting with some of my teacher friends, were when the school reopened, after a year, for a few months, it was so difficult because the teachers had to again do a complete recap of whatever they taught, even though they taught it online. Okay, so many of them face this challenge, उनको फिर से पूरा याद दिलाना कि ये चीज ऐसे हो रही थी, ये चीज हमने कराई थी, etc. तो एक पूरा उनको फिर से दोबारा they had to bring them back to the current syllabus what they were doing. That was a very tough thing for them when the students came back for the few moments. So that is the biggest fear, like ma'am also said, this is the biggest fear that they have is how are these students going to actually pick up the knowledge. But then here again, look at the positive side of it. The students, those who are really wanting to study and getting into it, they are taking the best advantage of this. In fact, the school studies के साथ या college studies के साथ अपने जो भी curriculum है, along with it, they are also upgrading their skills. So they are benefited because it's saving the cost, the time, and the energy of travel and everything. That's the benefit of it. Very sad the part of it where yes, lot of teachers are, like I said, in schools where they are not very socially, economically, and infrastructures are not there with them, they are losing jobs, and especially the ones who are into physical education or other, the other aspects, the other staff is also losing the job. That's really a sad part. But if I want to share with them, I would say do not lose heart, because being online, lot of different modes have come up whereby you can slowly start another source of income. Although I'm not saying go, leave the teaching fraternity and go into that part, but then let's look out for this kind of solutions and look out for these kinds of options that are there. In case anybody requires that kind of help or requires some kind of information, do connect with me, because I've been fortunate to get connected with some good digital marketers and software developers, etc. So I'm been working with them also. So that's another opportunity which I got to learn from during the COVID. So with this particular note, sir, I would like to sign off and tell each and everyone, do not get disheartened. There is everything. It's like a situation has come, and this particular situation is teaching you to identify yourself also. Identify the skills that you have within you beyond the teaching part, and in that other skills. Like I identified that my voice, my modulation, the way I do it with my voice, I have started utilizing the skill of mine, and now I would also try to utilize it to make it into monetization. My writing skills, so now I'm doing content writing, copywriting with these kind of digital marketers who require your writing skills. So start identifying the skills that you have which otherwise you would not be doing. So thank you so much for this opportunity, and yes, stay happy, stay blessed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Kamini Kalra, for giving you very, very positive views. And according to her, one should not lose heart, especially the teaching fraternity, and they can very well, in case if they are facing financial problem also, there are lots of avenues, because they are in teaching faculty and they know how to write, how to speak, so they can do all those things which are required in the digital platform nowadays. And being as a consultant, when she's working, she says there are lots of opportunities. And according to her, yes, there are challenges in this because of the COVID is coming back, but there are opportunities one should see. Although I will definitely ask Ms. Kamini, because she is from the, earlier she was in Mumbai, now she's in Chandigarh. She is lucky to have the good facilities, the net, etc. But what is the conditions of the rural area? Because 70% of the students belongs to the rural side. So we have to think of them, or are we thinking to have a digital divide, rural and urban, and we are going to give the education only to the urban, not to the rural? If we have that idea, then fine. But otherwise, we have to see the reality, and we want, yes, the teachers are being impacted according to her, but the only thing is one has to see the positive side. Try to be positive, because they should not go under depression. They should not do something which is going to harm them and their family. So they must be very positive. Thank you very much, Ms. Kamini Kalra, for giving your views. Now I would like to invite and introduce my next guest, and he is Mr. Dhirendra Singh, MA MEd. Mr. Dhirendra Singh is the Hindi teacher at Gyandeep Shiksha Bharati Senior Secondary School, Mathura. धीरेन्द्र सिंह जी, अनम्यूट करें अपना. प्लीज अनम्यूट।
जी,
धीरेन्द्र सिंह जी, हिंदी, आप हिंदी में बोलेंगे?
जी सर।
अच्छा, मैं अब आपको धीरेन्द्र सिंह जी, आपने अभी सुना डॉक्टर अरुंधति जी को भी, और आपने सुना अभी कामनी कालरा जी को भी, और दोनों का व्यू ये था। हालांकि डॉक्टर अरुंधति का कहना था कि काफी टफ टाइम आ गया है टीचर्स के लिए। उन्होंने पहले सोचा था कि 3-4 महीने में ये प्रॉब्लम खत्म हो जाएगी, लेकिन वो बढ़ती चली गई प्रॉब्लम। उसके बाद पूरा साल निकल गया, बल्कि 13 महीने हो गए। इधर उन्होंने ये भी बताया कि जो विदेशों में भी टीचर जो हैं, अध्यापक लोग हैं, उन्हें काफी बहुत ही ज्यादा परेशानियों का सामना करना पड़ रहा है। अपना जो उनका मेंटल कंडीशन है, दिमागी हालात अच्छे नहीं हो पाते हैं, क्योंकि टीचर को पैसा भी चाहिए होता है, अध्यापक को। अब वो पैसे भी बहुत कट रहा है, क्योंकि जो पैसा स्टूडेंट्स हैं उनके अभिभावक नहीं दे पा रहे हैं अपने स्कूल्स और कॉलेजेस को, तो जिसकी वजह से स्कूल कॉलेजेस 10% से 50% तक की सैलरी कट कर रहे हैं। कई स्कूल्स कॉलेजेस नहीं भी दे पा रहे हैं। तो जब ऐसी कंडीशन है, तो उस वक्त टीचर की मनोस्थिति काफी खराब है। और उस वक्त उसको ऑनलाइन में, जिसके बारे में उसको पता भी नहीं था, ओवरनाइट उसने ऑनलाइन भी पढ़ाना शुरू किया। लेकिन उनका कहना था कि ऑनलाइन में एजुकेशन का जो इस तरह का जो होनी चाहिए शिक्षण पद्धति जो हमारे यहाँ की थी, वो नहीं हो पा रही है। जो हमें एक पर्सनल टच, जो हमारा एक पारंपरिक जो रहा है शिक्षा पद्धति, गुरुकुल शिष्य वाली, वो पद्धति नहीं चल पा रही है। और ऑनलाइन में जो एक लाइब्रेरी का या स्पोर्ट्स का जो बच्चों को मिलना चाहिए, वो नहीं हो पाता है। लेकिन मिस कामनी कालरा ने उसका बिल्कुल ही अपोजिट वे में जाके कहा कि नहीं, टीचर्स को बहुत ही अपॉर्चुनिटी के रूप अपॉर्चुनिटी आई है, और उससे अपने को उन्हें टेक सेवी बनाना चाहिए, अपने को लर्न करना चाहिए, और आगे कई एवेन्यूज खुल रहे हैं, उन सबको करना चाहिए, पॉजिटिव रहना चाहिए। तो दोनों के अलग अलग व्यूज हैं। वी आर इन डेमोक्रेसी, हर एक को अपना व्यू रखने की स्वतंत्रता है। अब मैं आपसे जानना चाहूंगा, क्योंकि जो दोनों अभी बोली हैं, डॉक्टर अरुंधति मुंबई में है, जो एक मेट्रो है, फाइनेंशियल हब है इंडिया का सबसे बड़ा, और मिस कामनी कालरा भी पहले मुंबई में थी, अब वो चंडीगढ़ में है, तो वो भी एक तरह से बड़े शहरों में है। आप एक कैटेगरी 3 या कैटेगरी 4 का समझ लीजिए सिटी, जो मथुरा से बिलोंग करते हैं। तो अब आपसे मैं पूछना चाहूंगा कि जो एक कोरोना रिटर्न्स इम्पैक्ट ऑन टीचर्स, कोरोना जो वापसी आ गया, घर वापसी हुई है कोरोना की, उससे आपके अध्यापकों पे क्या इसका असर पड़ा है? मिस्टर धीरेन्द्र सिंह, प्लीज।
जी सर, जी सर, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। और मुझे काफी प्रसन्नता है कि आज मुझे यहाँ पर इस मंच पर बोलने के लिए मौका मिला है। तो मैं अपनी बात को सबसे पहले एक कविता के माध्यम से रखना चाहता हूँ, और उसके बाद मैं उन विषयों पर थोड़ा थोड़ा विचार दूंगा। तो मैं अपनी जो बात है उसको कविता के माध्यम से प्रस्तुत करना चाहता हूँ। जैसे कोरोना का विषम समय है। कोरोना के विषम समय में शिक्षक पर दायित्व घना है। जो शिक्षक है उसके ऊपर जिम्मेदारियां का बोझ काफी आ गया है, क्योंकि उसे अब विद्यालय का भी देखना है और अपने परिवार के भरण पोषण का भी विचार करना है। तो कोरोना के विषम समय में शिक्षक पर दायित्व घना है, तकनीकी का ज्ञान प्राप्त कर एक नया स्कूल बना है। जैसे जैसे तकनीकी का ज्ञान उसको हो रहा है, जैसे अभी काला जी ने कहा कि उसको नए नए अवसर मिल रहे हैं सीखने के लिए, तो वही चीजें हैं। तकनीक प्राप्त कर एक नया स्कूल बना है, पर कुछ हैं बदलाव बड़े। जैसे पहले परंपरागत कक्षाएं होती थी, लेकिन अब सारी चीजें डिजिटल हो गई हैं। पहले केवल बोर्ड हुआ करते थे, अब स्मार्ट बोर्ड हो गए हैं। पर कुछ हैं बदलाव बड़े, रोजगार का अंत हुआ है। बहुत से विद्यालय ऐसे हैं जो बिल्कुल बंद हो चुके हैं, और कुछ विद्यालय ऐसे हैं जहां पर अभी भी स्थितियां सामान्य है, लेकिन कहीं सामान्य से कम है। पर कुछ हैं बदलाव बड़े, रोजगार का अंत हुआ है, गुरु गरिमा का ह्रास हुआ है। गुरु की जो गरिमा थी पहले, विद्यालय में अध्यापक जा रहा है, बच्चे संस्कारवान हैं, सभी उससे अभिवादन कर रहे हैं, कुछ चरण स्पर्श करते हैं, लड़कियां हाथ जोड़ करके अभिवादन करती हैं। तो अब केवल शब्दों से ही सारे जो औपचारिकताएं हैं वो निभाई जा रही हैं। तो शिक्षक की जो गरिमा है उसमें कहीं ना कहीं कमी आई। गुरु गरिमा का ह्रास हुआ है, मूल्यांकन भी कुछ ठहरा है। हम बच्चों को पढ़ा रहे हैं, लेकिन जब परंपरागत कक्षाओं में पढ़ाते थे तो पढ़ाते पढ़ाते भी हम बच्चों का मूल्यांकन करते थे कि बच्चे ने कितना सीखा है। लेकिन अब स्थितियां दूसरी हैं। हमें लाइव क्लास में जब हम पढ़ाते हैं तो पढ़ाते समय हमें एक निर्धारित पैटर्न पे पढ़ाना है और उसके बाद लास्ट में ही बच्चों से मूल्यांकन के लिए प्रश्न करने हैं। लेकिन यदि सभी लोग एक साथ प्रश्नों का जवाब देंगे तो वहां फिर सूचनाओं का क्रैश होने की संभावना होती है। तो इसलिए कुछ समस्याएं हैं। आगे है शिक्षक का अस्तित्व क्लास में। शिक्षक का जो अस्तित्व था, शिक्षक का जो महत्व है या भूमिका है, वो क्लास में ही है। क्योंकि क्लास में जब शिक्षक होगा तो वह केवल अपने वाचन कौशल से ही नहीं, अपने संप्रेषण से, अपने जो फिजिकल लैंग्वेज है उससे भी वह बच्चों को प्रेरित करता है सीखने के लिए। लेकिन अब क्या, अब केवल वो एक प्लेटफॉर्म पर बैठ करके, खड़ा होकर के केवल अपना संवाद दे रहा है। वीडियो रिकॉर्डिंग हो रही है, वीडियो रिकॉर्डिंग होने के बाद में उनको दिया जा रहा है। तो इस तरह से शिक्षक का अस्तित्व क्लास में अब तो शुद्ध व्यवसाय बना है। अब एक तरह से पूरी तरह से कि जिन लोगों के पास में अवसर नहीं मिला, जिन लोगों के विद्यालय बंद हो चुके हैं, उनका तो ज्ञान कहीं ना कहीं धीरे धीरे समाप्त हो रहा है और जो सरकारें हैं वो इस विषय पर ध्यान नहीं दे पा रही हैं। शिक्षक का अस्तित्व क्लास में अब तो शुद्ध व्यवसाय बना है। कुछ पालक उत्सुक हैं इसमें। जो ऑनलाइन क्लासिंग का सिस्टम है, कोरोना के समय में पढ़ाई भी बाधित ना हो और सारे काम भली भांति चलते रहें। कुछ लोग जो वास्तव में पढ़े लिखे हैं और जो अपने बच्चों के प्रति गंभीर हैं, जिनके पास संसाधन भी हैं, वो लोग तो उत्सुक हैं कि बच्चे हमारे ऑनलाइन क्लास ले रहे हैं। उन्होंने अपने बच्चों के लिए सारी व्यवस्थाएं कर रखी हैं। जैसे किसी परिवार में 2 या 3 बच्चे हैं और वो तीनों पढ़ रहे हैं और यदि तीनों की उसी समय पर क्लास है तो उनके लिए अलग अलग उन्होंने सिस्टम तैयार किए हैं। लेकिन वहीं कुछ के लिए विवाद बना है। जो ग्रामीण क्षेत्र से लोग हैं उनके लिए विवाद का विषय बन गया है कि भाई हम कहाँ से मोबाइल लाएं, कहाँ से नेट लाएं। ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों में बिजली की समस्या अभी भी है, सभी के पास में इन्वर्टर की व्यवस्था नहीं है। तो वो लोग आकर के विवाद करते हैं कि बताओ ऐसे कैसे पढ़ाई होगी। तो कुछ पालक उत्सुक हैं इसमें, कुछ के लिए विवाद बना है। विद्यालय में शिक्षण अधिगम, विद्यालय में जो पठन पाठन है अबाध गति से चलता था, बिना किसी रुकावट के चल रहा था। सभी विद्यालयों में अपना एक टाइम टेबल होता था। प्रत्येक टाइम टेबल के हिसाब से, प्रत्येक पीरियड के हिसाब से अध्यापक क्लास में जा रहा है, बच्चों से अपने विषय के बारे में चर्चा कर रहा है, बच्चों से प्रश्न पूछ रहा है, बच्चे उसके प्रश्न का जवाब दे रहे हैं। कहीं ना कहीं आपस में जो संप्रेषण है वो बेहतर है। लेकिन अब क्या है, विद्यालय में शिक्षण अधिगम अबाध गति से चलता था। अब तो अधिगम का मूल्यांकन 100% लगता है। जब ऑनलाइन हम बच्चे का मूल्यांकन करते हैं तो वह सभी चीजों का 100% जवाब दे रहा है। अब पता नहीं उसने बराबर में पुस्तक खोल रखी है या वो कहीं और जगह से सूचना प्राप्त करके जवाब दे रहा है। लेकिन पहले, क्योंकि जब परंपरागत कक्षाएं होती थी, क्लासरूम में अध्यापक पढ़ा रहा है, तो बच्चे को वहीं पर अपने विचार विवेक से सोच करके, समझ करके, और जो दूसरे साथ के विद्यार्थी हैं उनके बताई हुई बातों के आधार पर अपने विवेक के माध्यम से वह प्रश्नों का जवाब देता था। लेकिन अब ऐसा कम देखने को मिलता है। मूक रहें चाहे कक्षा में, मूक रहें चाहे कक्षा में, कार्य पूर्ण कर लेते हैं। ऑनलाइन क्लास के लिए केवल टीचर बोल रहा है, वन वे ट्रैक। यदि बच्चे भी बोलेंगे तो आवाज में आपस में विवाद होगा, आवाज क्रैश होगी और जो तीसरा व्यक्ति है उसको कुछ भी सुनने के लिए नहीं मिलेगा। तब तो क्या हो गया कि केवल मूक होकर के सब काम चल रहा है। मूक रहें चाहे कक्षा में, कार्य पूर्ण कर लेते हैं। विद्यार्थी अब तो केवल उत्तर अर्जित कर लेते हैं। हमने क्लास पढ़ाई, क्लास पढ़ाने के बाद में हमने बच्चों को असाइनमेंट दे दिया। अब बच्चे वो असाइनमेंट कहाँ से कर रहे हैं? पहले कक्षा में जो कार्य होता था वो अध्यापक की देखरेख में होता था। उसके बाद कुछ जटिल प्रश्न होते थे जो उसको घर से करने के लिए दिए जाते थे। लेकिन अब वो सभी प्रश्नों को घर से कर रहा है, तो ये पता नहीं चल पा रहा है कि वो उन प्रश्नों के उत्तर कहाँ से प्राप्त कर रहा है। वह समझ करके लिखने का प्रयास कर रहा है या अपने किसी दूसरे सोर्स से उनका जवाब दे रहा है। तो कहीं ना कहीं शिक्षा में जो गुणवत्ता आनी चाहिए थी उसमें थोड़ी सी कमी आई है। और ये कमी यदि हम ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों की तरफ देखें तो वहां कुछ ज्यादा है। मूक रहें चाहे कक्षा में, कार्य पूर्ण कर लेते हैं। विद्यार्थी अब तो केवल उत्तर अर्जित कर लेते हैं। ऐसा ही मंजर ये रहा, तो अगर ये आलम ऐसा ही रहा, क्योंकि जैसा पिछले वर्ष था 13 महीने हो चुके हैं और अब तो पिछले वर्ष की अपेक्षा जो कोरोना के केस आ रहे हैं उनमें काफी गति आ चुकी है। लाखों की स्थाप में काफी केस आ रहे हैं, क्योंकि पिछली बार तो उत्तर प्रदेश में भी काफी समय तक स्थितियां सही थी, लेकिन अब तो एक तरह से बाढ़ सी आ रही है। तो अब यदि यही स्थिति रही तो क्या होगा? ऐसा ही मंजर ही रहा तो शिक्षक का आलम क्या होगा? केवल नाम का लोगो होगा, मोबाइल ही सब काम करेगा। केवल अध्यापक के नाम का लोगो हो जाएगा, क्योंकि जैसे मानो कोई रिकॉर्डिंग सामग्री है हमारे पास, तो हम उस रिकॉर्डिंग सामग्री को दोबारा से भी सेंड कर देंगे क्लास पर, गूगल क्लास पर, मीट क्लास पर, या जो भी है पहला जो भी प्लेटफॉर्म पे हम कार्य कर रहे हैं। तो अब समस्या ये है कि ये जो स्थितियां हैं ये बच्चों के लिए भी बेहतर हों और सीखने वाले लोगों को कुछ सीखने के लिए प्रेरित करें। अब जैसे हम बात करते हैं भाषा कौशल की, तो भाषा कौशल में बोलना, सीखना, लिखना, पढ़ना, ये सारी चीजें आती हैं। यहाँ सुनना तो भली भांति हो पा रहा है, लेकिन बोलने वाली स्किल का डेवलपमेंट नहीं हो पा रहा है, क्योंकि यदि बच्चे बोलेंगे तो फिर कौन सुनेगा? अब एक एक क्लास में, एक मीटिंग में कम से कम 30, 40, 50, 60 ज्यादा भी बच्चे जुड़ते हैं। सभी केवल चित्र देखते हैं, सुनते हैं, और मैं तो ये समझता हूं कि वो केवल सामने बैठ करके जितना समय उनको दिया जा रहा है, जो गंभीर बच्चे हैं, जो सामान्य कक्षाओं में, परंपरागत कक्षा में जो प्रथम पंक्तियों में बैठते थे, वो आज भी ऑनलाइन में प्रथम पंक्तियों पर ही हैं। उनको कोई समस्या होती है वो तत्काल प्रश्न करते हैं और अपने प्रश्न का उनको जवाब मिलता है, वो संतुष्ट हो जाते हैं। लेकिन आज भी इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे जो बच्चे कमजोर हैं, वो कमजोर के कमजोर ही बने हुए हैं। पहले तो वो अध्यापक की नजर में आते थे कि ये बच्चा शांत है, ये कुछ रेस्पॉन्स नहीं दे पा रहा है, अध्यापक उसके पास जाकर के उसको देखता था। लेकिन आज क्या है कि आज यहाँ देखने सुनने का तो मामला है नहीं। यदि अध्यापक ये कह रहा है कि भाई आप लोगों ने जो मैंने लिखा है लिख लिया है तो आप दिखाइए, यदि सभी लोग दिखाने का प्रयास करेंगे तो भी वहां समय कंज्यूम होगा। तो ये मेरी कविता थी। इसके अलावा कुछ बातें हैं, जैसे कुछ चीजें पॉजिटिव भी आई हैं इसमें। सबसे बड़ी बात जैसे कि अध्यापक जो एक परंपरागत रूप से अभी तक पढ़ा रहा था, उसको विभिन्न प्रकार के तकनीकी उपकरणों का ज्ञान हुआ है। जैसे एक विषय होता है शैक्षिक तकनीकी, जिसमें विभिन्न प्रकार के तकनीकियों के प्रयोग के बारे में बताया जाता है कि बच्चा किस तरह से बेहतर सीखेगा, किस तरह से हम अपनी कक्षा को व्यवस्थित करें जिससे कि बच्चे के अंदर प्रश्न पूछने की जिज्ञासा उत्पन्न हो। अब जैसे शिक्षण विधि के अंतर्गत हम बहुत सी तकनीकियां लेते हैं, बहुत से कौशल लेते हैं। अब जैसे श्यामपट्ट कौशल है, व्याख्यान कौशल है, एक स्टिमुलस वेरिएशन उद्दीपन परिवर्तन कौशल है। तो केवल यहाँ पर श्यामपट्ट कौशल तो भली भांति चल रहा है, क्योंकि हम बोर्ड पर बच्चों को पढ़ा रहे हैं, बच्चे देख रहे हैं, बोल भी रहे हैं, सुन रहे हैं। लेकिन वहीं साथ के साथ जब हम उद्दीपन परिवर्तन की बात करते हैं, हम अपने हाव भाव के माध्यम से बच्चों के प्रश्नों का जवाब देने का प्रयास करते हैं। तो यहाँ पर इस प्लेटफॉर्म पर उन चीजों को कर पाने में हम कुछ अपने आप को असमर्थ प्रतीत पाते हैं। उसके बाद में जैसे पुनर्बलन कौशल है, बच्चे ने कोई जवाब दिया, शाबाश, बहुत अच्छे। अध्यापक क्या करता है कि यदि बच्चे ने कोई अच्छा जवाब दिया है तो उसके जवाब को वह पहले बोर्ड पर लिखता था। जब बच्चे के सही जवाब को बोर्ड पर लिखा जाता है तो जो बच्चा धीमी गति से सीखने वाला है, उसको ये अपने अंदर से जिज्ञासा होती है कि मैं भी यदि बोलूंगा तो मेरा प्रश्न का जवाब भी बोर्ड पर सर लिखेंगे, मुझको भी शाबाशी देंगे। तो अब यहाँ पर इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे वो सारी चीजें नहीं हो पा रही। जैसे आपने पूर्व में कहा था कि यदि अध्यापक क्लास में आकर के यदि सिगरेट पिएगा या धूम्रपान करेगा या कहीं भी बच्चे के सामने, विद्यालय से बाहर भी यदि इस चीजों को करेगा तो उसका उस पर नकारात्मक प्रभाव पड़ेगा ही। क्योंकि आज भी देखा जा रहा है कि बहुत से लोग जो कोविड के नियम हैं, जो सावधानियां बरतने के लिए कहा गया है, उन सावधानियों को बरत तो रहे हैं, लेकिन ऐसा प्रतीत होता है जैसे उन पर किसी प्रकार का कोई दबाव है। जो अनुशासन हमारे अंदर से होना चाहिए, जो स्वशासन की भावना हमारे अंदर होनी चाहिए, वह स्वशासन अंदर से नहीं है। ऐसा लग रहा है कि जैसे ऊपर से कोई व्यक्ति थोप रहा है। अभी कल की बात है कि मुख्यमंत्री जी ने घोषणा की है कि यदि व्यक्ति कोई बिना मास्क के पाया जाता है तो उस पर 1000 रुपए का जुर्माना होगा, और यदि वह दोबारा पाया जाता है तो उस पर 10,000 रुपए का जुर्माना होगा। अब एक प्रदेश के मुखिया को ये सारी बातें कहनी पड़ रही हैं, क्योंकि उत्तर प्रदेश की स्थिति बहुत ज्यादा गंभीर है। सबसे ज्यादा गंभीर इसलिए क्योंकि यहाँ की जनसंख्या बहुत अधिक है, 25 करोड़ की आबादी है, और ज्यादातर जो पढ़े लिखे लोग भी हैं वो अपने आप को तो भले ही इस माहौल में बदल करके इसके अनुसार अपने अनुशासन का पालन करके आगे बढ़ने का प्रयास कर रहे हैं, लेकिन जब वो दूसरे लोगों को इस बारे में बताने का प्रयास करते हैं तो जो कम बुद्धि के लोग हैं, जो अपने आप को बहुत अधिक पढ़ा लिखा समझते हैं, भले ही उनको ज्ञान नहीं है, वह उनकी बातों को पूरी तरह से इग्नोर कर देते हैं। तो ऐसी हालत हो चुकी है कि व्यक्ति इस परिस्थिति में भी अभी ये समझ रहा है कि सब मजाक चल रहा है। बाजार में आज तो यहाँ पर पूरी तरह से लॉकडाउन है, संडे में पूरी तरह से लॉकडाउन है, रात को भी लॉकडाउन है। तो कल स्थिति ये थी कि बाजार में बहुत भीड़ थी और मुश्किल से ही 10% लोग ऐसे होंगे जिन्होंने मास्क पहन रखा होगा। तो स्थिति ये है। अब यदि हम बात अपने शिक्षा के उद्देश्य की करते हैं, शिक्षा का जो मूल उद्देश्य है वो व्यवहार में परिवर्तन है। कक्षा शिक्षण का भी उद्देश्य व्यवहार में परिवर्तन है कि बच्चे को पहले जो चीज नहीं आ रही है वो कक्षा में पढ़ाने के बाद उसको सीख जाए, सीखने के बाद उसको अपने व्यवहार में उतार ले। अब जैसे हम बच्चे को बोलना सिखाते हैं, प्राथमिक स्तर पे बच्चा केवल अनुकरण से सीखता है। यदि घर का वातावरण हमारा अच्छा है, घर में सभी लोग अनुशासित हैं, सभी लोग अनुशासन का पालन करने वाले हैं, तो बच्चे अपने आप ही उन सारी चीजों को सीखते हैं। लेकिन ऐसा केवल 10% परिवारों में देखने को मिलता है और ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों में देखा जाए तो यह स्थिति और भी ज्यादा चिंताजनक है। तो सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि जो अध्यापक अपने व्यवहार के माध्यम से, जैसे शिष्टाचार है, आज क्लासों की स्थितियां ये, विद्यालयों की स्थितियां ये हैं कि यदि एक विद्यालय में 10 या 20 अध्यापक हैं और बच्चा किसी विशेष अध्यापक से पढ़ता है तो वह उस विशेष अध्यापक को ही अभिवादन करता है। कहीं ना कहीं संस्कारों में कमी आई है, कहीं ना कहीं हमारे जो दिए गए ज्ञान हैं जिनको हम व्यवहार से देना चाहते थे लेकिन दे नहीं पाए, उनमें कहीं ना कहीं कमी आई है। बहुत से विद्यालयों में ऐसा देखा जाता है कि अध्यापक दूसरे छोटे अध्यापकों से जो उससे स्तर में छोटे हैं, चाहे कोई पीजीटी है, टीजीटी है, पीआरटी है, तो आवश्यकता यह है कि सभी अध्यापक एक दूसरे से भी अभिवादन यदि करेंगे, हालांकि जो कनिष्ठ हैं उनको बड़ों के सम्मान का भाव रखना चाहिए, लेकिन जब विद्यार्थी इस चीज को देखेगा कि भाई ये गुरुजी बड़े गुरुजी से नमस्ते करते हैं, उनका अभिवादन करते हैं, कोई बुजुर्ग आ रहा है उसके चरण स्पर्श करते हैं, तो कहीं ना कहीं बच्चे के अंदर भी उस प्रकार के भाव जगेंगे। बच्चा भी कहीं ना कहीं उस प्रकार से अपने व्यवहार को ढालने का प्रयास करेगा। क्योंकि कक्षा में जो शिक्षण होता है, अध्यापक के द्वारा जो सूचनाएं प्रदान की जाती हैं विषय वस्तु से संबंधित, उनको तो सभी ग्रहण कर लेते हैं लगभग, लेकिन जो व्यवहार की सूचनाएं हैं, जो अध्यापक के व्यवहार के माध्यम से दी जाती हैं कि अध्यापक के बोलने का लहजा क्या है, उसके दूसरों के व्यवहार करने का तरीका क्या है, बच्चों के प्रकार उसका कैसा संबंध है, अध्यापक का अध्यापक के बीच कैसा संबंध है, अध्यापक का प्रधानाचार्य के बीच कैसा संबंध है, यदि वो सारी चीजें एक बेहतर तरीके से होंगी तो कहीं ना कहीं शिक्षा का स्तर भी बढ़ेगा। आज तकनीकी का काफी प्रयोग शिक्षा में हो रहा है और इस बात को कहने में कोई हमें संकोच नहीं है कि प्राचीन काल के संदर्भ में, पिछले 10 साल के संदर्भ में यदि हम वर्तमान में शिक्षा के स्तर की बात करें तो शिक्षा का स्तर काफी ऊंचा हुआ है। आज साक्षरता दर काफी बड़ी है, ऐसा नहीं है कि बहुत कम स्थिति हो, बहुत बेहतर कुछ हुआ है, लेकिन अभी और बेहतर हो सकता है कि शिक्षा के साथ साथ व्यक्ति में संस्कार भी आए, व्यक्ति सामाजिक व्यवहार को जानना सीखे। आजकल बच्चा पढ़ा लिखा है, पढ़ लिख करके वह माता पिता को परिस्थितियों में छोड़कर चला गया, नौकरी कर रहा है, माता पिता से बात करने के लिए उसके पास समय नहीं है। हम जो बच्चों को सिखा रहे हैं, ये जरूरी है कि बच्चा अपने भविष्य के लिए तैयार हो रहा है, अपने जीवन यापन के तरीकों को ढूंढने के लिए तैयार हो रहा है, किसी ना किसी तरीके से वह अपने जीवन को बेहतर तरीके से जी पाए। लेकिन उसके साथ जरूरी है कि वह समाज को एक ऐसी दिशा दे, ऐसा ज्ञान दे कि समाज उसका अनुकरण करके एक बेहतर कल की कल्पना कर सके। तो आवश्यकता यह है कि हम इस परिस्थिति में, जो परिस्थिति विकराल है सभी के लिए है, लेकिन इसमें भी हमें अवसर खोजने की आवश्यकता है। अवसर ये है कि जो चीज हमको नहीं आती उसको हम सीखने का प्रयास करें। जैसे पिछली बार कुछ परिस्थितियां विचित्र थी, पहली बार सभी के सामने ऑनलाइन क्लास की स्थिति आई, धीरे धीरे सभी ने सारे प्लेटफॉर्मों को सीखने का प्रयास किया, अब सभी लोग पूरी तरह से सीख चुके हैं और अब अबाध गति से वो टीचिंग कर रहे हैं। उनको जिस तरह से असाइनमेंट देना है, उस अध्यापक की तरह से जो कार्य चल रहे हैं वो भलीभांति संपादित हो रहे हैं, लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं कमी ये हो रही है कि जो बच्चा मूल्यांकन के लिए जो जवाब दे रहा है उसमें संदेह है कि वो कहाँ से जवाब दे रहा है। यदि हम ऑनलाइन क्लास भी करते हैं, बच्चों के पास प्रश्न भी करते हैं, तो ऐसा हो सकता है कि दूसरे स्रोतों से उसका जवाब दे दे, दूसरा मोबाइल उसने चालू कर रखा है, प्रश्न हमने पूछा है कहीं गूगल से उसका जवाब दे रहा है। तो इन चीजों पर थोड़ा सा विचार करने की आवश्यकता है तो मेरा विचार ये है कि समय तो बहुत मुश्किल है, लेकिन इतना भी मुश्किल नहीं है कि हम अपने आत्मविश्वास को बिल्कुल धरातल में बिता दें और ये रोएं कि कोरोना हो गया है, हम कैसे करें, हम ये है, हम वो है, और अपने आप के आत्मविश्वास को डाउन करके हम एक तरह से पूरे समाज को नष्ट कर दें। हमें आवश्यकता है कि अपने स्तर को ऊंचा रखें और बेहतर तरीके से सिखाने का प्रयास करें। इसी के साथ धन्यवाद।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद धीरेन्द्र सिंह जी. So you have seen that how Mr. Dhiren Singh has explained. I must congratulate him for explaining, and this shows the quality of a teacher, that he has written a poem, and by poem he has explained the condition of the teachers and the impact on teachers and the education in this COVID time. So he has explained each and everything, the challenges, the difficulties, as well as he has also in the end, he has also mentioned that we should not lose the faith. We should also be optimistic. We must think that things have come. It will go. We must do something which will be have our self-confidence. We must not lose our self-confidence. And he wants that the culture should be the teacher, should be the leader. So teacher must inculcate those things in the students, so they should follow, so they can be a proper persons in the society. And he has given the examples of wearing mask and not wearing mask. So he says that why we force something, it should come within. So this is the impact, and he says the teachers are doing their best, although so much challenges they have faced. Thank you very much, Mr. Dhiren Singh ji, for giving your very good views about the COVID. Now I would like to invite my next guest, and she's Miss Shyama Sharma. Miss Shyama Sharma is a teacher at Rajiv International School, Mathura. Miss Shyama Sharma, you have heard what the earliest guest, Dr. Arundhati, Ms. Kamini Kalra, as well as Mr. Dhiren Singh has spoken. And they have given the both the sides. They have given the opportunities, the challenges of that teachers are facing, or the impact on teachers. So now we would like to know from you the COVID returns impact on teachers. Ms. Shyama Sharma, please.
Good morning, sir. Good morning to all of you. A very bright morning, I must say, because I am really delighted.
You are delighted,
Teachers.
but your net is weak. Anyway, go. Now we can hear. Yes, yes. Go ahead, please.
Is it okay? Is it
Now it is
fine now?
Go ahead. Yes, yes.
Thank you. So I would start with the topic, and thank you so much
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Are you, Ms. Sharma? Are you using any other device on the same network? If
No, not at all.
so, you are on laptop or mobile?
Laptop.
Okay. In case if it persists, then you have to go for a mobile and go to some other place where the range is proper, because the range is not there. Anyway, try now again. If the problem
Is it
persists.
fine now, sir? Is it fine now?
Right now it's okay. Go ahead, please.
Okay, now I will start with the topic straight off because of the connectivity issues. So it is like Guru Govind do khade kake lagu paye balihari Guru aapne Govind diyo bataye. These lines seems hilarious to me these days. A society where we have doctors as coronavirus and corona warriors, for taking care of the people and the society. We shower them with flowers from the helicopters and planes and felicitate the policemen for executing the plans of the government and the government agencies. But for those people who give future to our country, who impart knowledge to the students and the youth, are absolutely unattended. Actually, if I may so, teachers are the unsung heroes who leave aside their families and educate the students space at any platform. So, as we know that we have seen many things, like we have registrations for the people, we have different direction for the people, but for teachers there's no consideration for the teachers. There's nothing which is happening for the teachers. as we now know that there are 2 lakh cases which have been raised, the COVID cases, and everybody is adversely affected by them. Everyone, the poor people, the miserable, and everyone. But what about the teachers? Is anyone looking for them? Are they being considerate for the teachers? No. The answer is no. The online survey conducted by Learning Solutions found that 70% of the teachers are facing
No, we are.
connectivity issues. The teachers, on the same hand, face problems in delivering knowledge because not.
No,
Hello?
Miss Sharma, your net is breaking. So the what you are talking is not going properly. So
Let
either you do one thing, you switch over to the mobile or some other network and go to another room or wherever you have a good network. Rejoin. I will take you, and then meanwhile, or if it can you, because every time your net is once you start tempo break. Okay, go ahead.
I will just come back. Is it okay
So,
now?
just go ahead. We will see. Otherwise, then I will. This time, the last time, last chance to a teacher,
Yeah.
not to a student. Yeah.
So, sir, I'm telling the same context, like we have the connectivity issues. I am so depressed by this. A staggering 84% of the teachers are facing challenges for delivering these uh, education on a digital platform because we are not prepared digitally. We do not have such orientation programs. We do not have anything by which we can grant this knowledge. So it is very difficult for the teachers who are there in the metro cities, in modern cities. They are, it is very easy for them to access all that, but for the teachers who are into rural areas, who are there from rural areas, they cannot grant such digital mediums, the devices. There's a problem in getting the devices also. There's a problem in many things. They do not have devices, they do not have proper orientations, they do not have the skills to educate, they do not have the skills to teach. So it is very challenging for the teachers in this time. And when in this
No, sorry, Miss
percentage of
Shama.
such.
Miss Shama, it's not because it's defeating the purpose. So what I suggest is I will take you back. Just log out, come from the some other device, locate the place either at
I'll
your.
connect it. I'll
Then you
connect.
please connect. I will take you. Okay, thank you very much, Miss Shama. No, sorry, because this is the issue which I'm definitely I going to ask the questions now, and definitely will take this issue also. Now, my question goes to Dr. Arundhati. Dr. Arundhati, you spoke about USA and you mentioned about USA. You know, in USA, the teachers were treated as a frontline worker. The teachers were vaccinated first. But in India, teachers are treated as the third grade workers. You have I'm very sorry to say the teachers have no class here. And the teachers are working day and night against their knowledge. They were not never been trained. And just think a person who is in 50s or 55 plus who is about to retire and you are asking them to teach digitally. Yes, they are trying to do that. But what facility the government or the institutions are providing? Now, when we come about the institutions, the private institutions are not getting the fees, as you have also mentioned. When they are not getting the fees, how they are going to pay to the teachers? 1 month, 2 months, 3 months they can pay, but they can't pay that regularly. What government is doing, and the teachers in the society, as one of our panelists has mentioned, they were supposed to be the top. There were two noble professions were considered in India. One was medical, other was teaching. And teachers cannot beg money if they are financially tight. They cannot ask anybody a loan of 1,000 rupees because they know that everybody, they have taught many people what the student will think. And no support from the government. They are not under MSME. They are not migrant labor. Now, and you are saying, no, it's something we must see the what. And in USA, I can tell you, they are doing online classes. They have been vaccinated. And now from Monday, that is tomorrow, everyone from 16 years onwards are going to be vaccinated. They are reopening the universities and colleges, but they are putting a condition: only those students can attend who are vaccinated. In India, we have no such planning right now, and especially for teachers. They are in USA, when you have spoken about USA, irrespective of age, because a teacher can be as young as 20 years or 21 years or 25 years. They all has been vaccinated, and they were giving full respect from the government side. What respect teachers are getting, we know, even not from now, not pre-COVID era also, whenever there is election, the teachers are the first to go for the election duties. We have never we considered that education is very important in India. Now, you being a test associated with premier institution, you are talking about IB. Yes, IB is a future in one way, but for whom? Only for the elite pupil. You are from Mumbai, and you know there are institutions. When they started charging 15 lakhs rupees per year, the fees. Now the fees are going up to 35 or 40 lakhs or 50 lakhs of rupees. Now think of a student of a 11th standard paying 15, 20, 25 lakhs rupees a year. How the parents of a rural area or those who have not, they are. So my question to you is, why not the teaching faculty should also demand that we should be vaccinated first? Because when the lockdown was over, somewhere in when the unlockdown has started and when opening has started, the teacher were first to go attend the school colleges. Are they not prone for corona?
Yes.
So why now, Dr. Arundhati, your views?
Yeah, Mr. Goel, I completely agree with you. Unfortunately, in India, teachers are not given that kind of importance. Only I've been telling this at every opportunity. The only day teachers are appreciated and all big bhashan is given, you are backbone of the country, you shape the future, only on 5th September. After that, everybody forgets, the schools also forget, and the parents also forget, society also forgets. And if a teacher wants money and she's able to get extra money, she wants to go for tuition, then also they are criticized. I totally agree with you, but this is a very generic condition. But now coming back to, I gave the example of USA in the context that how they, even after getting everything, the teachers are getting depressed. Not to show that, they are, my thing is not to give the foreign examples or anything like that. Since I'm connected with international education, I come to know all the news. You are right. My own sister is teaching in Chicago. She is working in a school. So all of them are vaccinated. Agreed. That is there. But I wanted to tell you, even in the elite countries, getting all the facilities and all the stuff and all the even government taking care, teachers are depressed. So what is coming back in India? So I connected that to the second part, that it's not different over here. It is worse scenario. I didn't use the harsh word. I said it is more pronounced over here. Okay. Now, again, in India also, we cannot generalize that nobody is vaccinating. I know a couple of schools, a few schools that I am in contact. I know that they have vaccinated all their teachers. Schools, some of the schools in Nagpur have done that, 5, 6 schools. And in Mumbai also, in a suburban place like Thana, they have done. But you are right, it is not done on a large scale. This has to actually come from the authority or the state government or the central government, that just like how we are equipping all our frontline worker, teacher also is a frontline worker. But that I agree with you. But that we have no control. But some of the board managements have already taken this stand and they are doing it. And I'm really grateful for them.
Okay, but are they doing for the below 45 years? Then it is illegal if they are doing it. If it
they
is
have taken special permission, sir. They have taken special permission.
Okay,
the entire school staff and their peons and supporting staff, everybody is vaccinated.
So that should be given to everyone. After all, why only those have? Now, and when you are talking of the foreign, see in UK, when their institutions were forced to close, the 80% of the salary of the everyone was paid by the government. So the teachers are not having any problem there. After all, they are getting at least 80% of the salary. Here in India, I can name many colleges, university, private I am talking, they are not even getting a single rupee. Now, how we expect them, and they cannot beg. Anyway, thank you very much, Dr. Arundhati. Now, my question goes to Ms. Kamini. Ms. Kamini, you were talking about the digitalization and whatnot. And we have just seen a teacher herself could not connect to us. Why not? Why this double standard? Why not give education this year only to have those who have the means, or I will say the elite class, and let the poor class, the rural class, tell them very clearly, so sorry, we don't want to give you education. You are in cattle class. You doesn't deserve the education, because we, in 1 year, we have not learned any lesson. We have not created any infrastructure. We have not come out with any network problem. We could not solve the network problem. One side we talk about that we are so great country. We are doing this big, we are doing that big, and we can't provide a basic infrastructure, especially to the teachers, so that on the students. So, and you are talking everyone should, what digitalization can do. Now you have seen that young teacher, she can't express her views. Now think of those students who are teaching or learning online. What would have been their fate? They cannot, if I can't understand, if you can't understand what she's talking, then so why not tell their students, if you have money, only you will get that education. Those who are poor, those who are from rural, sorry, this country can't afford to give them education. Be straight. Ms. Kamini Kalra, please.
So here, I completely agree with you, what you have said, that is there where, but here then this is what, I mean, when the government is talking about getting digitalization, okay, I mean, Modi Sarkar, everybody talks about it. So that is what I wanted to share over here. They need to take the step whereby every city, every village also, if they're coming into digitalization, they need to get these kind of connectivities with the telecom industry. They're talking of the Ambanis and the other telecom who are fighters, the big players in the industry. They need to see to it that the connectivity part gets into these rural areas also, plus the availability of the tools, that is like even a simple mobile should be made available to them. And the most important, what like Ms. Sharma was trying to convey is like, first of all, at least prepare them. I was talking about the pedagogical skills. Here in the curriculum of teaching also, if we inculcate and we put into it the digital skills also, it would become much more easy and teachers would not have so much of problems in getting into the skills. And you rightly mentioned, sir, I mean, I am of the age of 50-55. At age of 50-55, learning technology, getting accustomed to it is really difficult. Okay. But what I meant to say over here, sir, was that despite all these things, we need to get that ray of hope. We need to be still positive and not get, because see, when you completely come into the depression mode, or say you lose completely, right? So what I was trying to suggest and tell is, yes, there is hope. There is place where we can get into learning different skills, right? Another thing, sir, what you rightly also mentioned, and everybody agrees upon this, the teachers are not, in our country, definitely teachers do not expect like a respect wali baat hai, yes, like in where it comes to paying and other stuff, we are not considered on that platform where a businessman or any other person would be done. So in this case, I would definitely, this is where the government needs to take these steps, the strong and steps where we bring about this kind of availability to them.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ms. Kamini Kalra, for giving your views. Now, मेरा प्रश्न है धीरेन्द्र सिंह जी आपसे। आज घर से शिक्षा दी जा रही है, कॉलेजेस बंद हैं लॉकडाउन के वक्त में। हमने साल भर में कुछ नहीं सीखा मतलब जो गवर्नमेंट को करना चाहिए था, गवर्नमेंट ने नहीं किया। आप लोगों ने सीखा, आप लोगों ने एजुकेशन देनी सीखी, पर क्या घर से जो आप शिक्षा देते हैं, आज आप सोचिए जिसका घर 1 कमरे का है या 2 कमरे का है, उसमें उसकी वाइफ भी रह रही है, पेरेंट्स भी रह रहे हैं, बच्चे भी रह रहे हैं, और वो शिक्षक अपने पढ़ा रहा है लैपटॉप पे बैठ के, आप क्या सबको कह देंगे कि मेरी 1 घंटे की क्लास है, 1 घंटे तक सबके मुंह में ताला बंद रहना चाहिए, कोई कुछ नहीं बोलेगा, कोई डिस्टर्ब नहीं करेगा? ऐसा पॉसिबल है क्या? क्या इस तरह जब आप लोग पढ़ाते हो, जब आप कॉलेज में नहीं जा सकते, लॉकडाउन हो गया, घर से आपको शिक्षा देनी है, क्या-क्या आप चैलेंजेस आपने फेस किए हैं? टीचर्स क्या चैलेंज फेस करता है? उसका कोई सॉल्यूशन आप लोगों ने सोचा है? धीरेन्द्र सिंह जी।
जी, बहुत अच्छा प्रश्न है आपका और सबसे बड़ी बात ये है कि ये बिल्कुल बात सत्य है कि जब हम घर से शिक्षण करते हैं, तो ये बड़ी समस्या होती है क्योंकि सभी के पास इतने बड़े संसाधन नहीं है कि वो अलग-अलग कमरे में जाकर के रहे। कई बार ऐसा हुआ है कि हमारे जो साथी टीचर हैं, उन्होंने खेतों में जाकर के, क्योंकि गाँव में नेटवर्क भी नहीं है, खेतों में जाकर के वहाँ क्योंकि आवाज़ भी नहीं आएगी, कोई शोरगुल नहीं होगा। खेतों से जाकर के शिक्षण किया है। अभी जैसे हम हैं, अपने घर से इस समय बात कर रहे हैं या घर पे टीचिंग कर रहे हैं, तो बच्चों को बोल दिया कि भई आपको उस कमरे में बैठना है या कमरे में नहीं है तो नीचे जाओ खेलो, बाहर जाइए खेलिए। अब इतना रिस्क है कि बच्चा बाहर खेल रहा है या बाहर से कोई समस्या हो सकती है, तो बिल्कुल समस्या है और यदि विद्यालय से यदि शिक्षण हो रहा है, तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, वहाँ एक सेपरेट रूम है, वहाँ से आप शिक्षण कर रहे हैं। लेकिन घर से तो केवल ये एक औपचारिकता मात्र है और इन चीज़ों पर सरकार को भी विशेष ध्यान देना चाहिए। केवल शोर मचाने से इस पूरी तरह से हम इसको जो है डिजिटलाइज़ेशन कर रहे हैं, सभी तरह से सारी चीज़ें डिजिटल हो जाएँगी, तो केवल शोर करने से कुछ नहीं होता है, कुछ चीज़ों को धरातल पे भी लाने की आवश्यकता है।
चलिए,
तो अच्छा
बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद। डॉक्टर अरुंधति, now one line suggestion, what you would like to give to the government and suggestion to the parents or the students, anything, one line, but time is short.
Okay. I would tell the government, please start teaching, treating teachers as human beings, and they also require care, and take care of them. They will take care of the future of the nation. And for the parents, whatever you are today is because of some teacher taught you somewhere, and whatever your children are going to be, the future rests in the hands of teachers. Please support them, pay up your fees, and have that respect, genuine respect for them. That's what I would say.
Okay, thank you very much. Ms. Kamini Kalra, one suggestion to the government and please, Anmol, yes.
So the
tell me.
most important suggestion I would suggest to the government is, yes, start, giving these facilities of the connectivity, just not on papers by giving the, projects to big names, but actually get them into these even smaller and 3 tiers and 2 tier cities whereby this availability is not there, so that each one gets the right of educating themselves. That's what I would say.
Thank you very much. धीरेन्द्र सिंह जी, आप क्या सुझाव देना चाहेंगे गवर्नमेंट को और क्या अभिभावकों को और क्या विद्यार्थियों को?
मेरा सबसे पहले सरकार से निवेदन है कि सरकार कुछ ऐसी व्यवस्था करे जिससे शिक्षकों का जीवन यापन का काम चलता रहे, उनके सामने कोई परेशानी नहीं आए और बच्चों से ये अपेक्षा है कि वो जिस परिस्थिति में भी हैं बेहतर सीखने का प्रयास करें। कभी-कभी ऐसा हो सकता है कि नेटवर्क इश्यू हो, लेकिन उन चीज़ों को समझने का प्रयास करें। बाद में भी वो टीचर के साथ संपर्क कर सकते हैं क्योंकि सभी के पास मोबाइल नंबर होते हैं। तो प्रयास ये करें बच्चे की जो भी समस्या है वो सीखने का प्रयास करें और अभिभावक इस परिस्थिति के साथ में विद्यालय और शिक्षकों के साथ में रहें ताकि जो भी फीस है, जिस फीस के माध्यम से जीवन यापन शिक्षकों का चल रहा है, विद्यालय का सिस्टम चल रहा है, उस फीस को भी यदि समय पर वो देंगे तो बेहतर रहेगा।
Okay, thank you very much. बहुत धन्यवाद. So today you have seen the views of the teachers, the impact, COVID returns impact on teachers. In 1 year, we have not learned any lesson. We means the civil society, the government. We have not created any infrastructure. We thought everything will be okay after this corona will go. If we would have done it, today the agony, the pain which the teachers are facing would have not. And we forgotten one thing. Today, if the doctors are working day and night, if the scientists are doing the research for vaccine, who taught them? These teachers only. And even though I can't say about the leaders, whether they have been educated or not, but I'm talking about those who are building this country. If we are not giving the respect, but respect is not only saying Guru Govind Do Khade. No, we have to give in real respect. We must see to it what problems they are facing. You have seen one teacher joined from Vrindavan. The same Vrindavan where the crores and crores of rupees have been spent for Kumbh Mela by the government of UP. They could not create a proper infrastructure for creating the network with less amount. No one is bothered for the future and for the teachers. So today's program, which has been brought to you live telecast by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV, News Gaon se Samvad Saroka News, as well as shown live on Facebook and YouTube. And our endeavor is to bring to you every day a new topic. And again, tomorrow we are taking on education, because we feel the education is the main crux if we have to come out from Corona, because if people are educated, real educated, they will wear the mask, they will keep the social distancing, and they will not like to see that they are unnecessary. Are they partying or going to the rallies or organizing the rallies or organizing Kumbh or celebrating Holies if they are really educated? If not, yes, they can do anything. So today's our program is media conference with Lal Goel at 10:30 a.m. COVID returns, impact on online education. Because today we have seen the online people although teachers have spoken, but we are going to do exclusive program on that. And our panelists are Professor Dr. R. Gopal, Director and Head of the Department, D.Y. Patil University, Navi Mumbai, Miss Shagufta F. Parker, Head of School, Rasaj International School, Mumbai, Dr. Lakshmi Mohan, Director, ITM Business School, Navi Mumbai, Mr. Gaurav Bansal, TGT Math Teacher, Gyandeep Shiksha Bharati Senior Secondary School, Mathura. So please tune in tomorrow for media conference with Lal Goel at 10:30 a.m. Thank you very much, Dr. Arundhati. Thank you very much, Ms. Kamini Kalra. Thank you very much, Mr. Dhiren Singh, and thank you very much to our lost teacher who has lost the connection, Ms. Shama Sharma, for joining us and giving their very, very good views. But my request to all the entire civil society, please give the real respect to the teachers. See to it, they cannot beg money from us. They are in that situation. Help them. After all, they have helped you. They are helping your children. They are next to the God. If we will not give them respect, who is going to give? Thank you very much. And thank you all the viewers for watching our show. Thank you very much.